It's great to be here. We're really excited to see everybody. We appreciate how nice everybody is. Great to be in the Midwest. I tell people, normally when I want to do Midwestern nice, I just go to Fort Myers in January, and I have half the Midwest there. But we love everybody that comes down to Florida, but particularly Southwest Florida from Iowa and other parts.
Thank you. Well, listen, good friend, former colleague, governor from Florida, and so I appreciate that and appreciate the friendly competition. So Ron's out there doing the 99 county tour. I think you may be ahead of me. Hey, you know what? We're in Iowa, and in Iowa, we're Iowa nice. So let's give everybody the opportunity to hear our candidates. So we'll stop until you do, but we're all going to have an opportunity to hear from each and every candidate. That's what we've been doing. So, okay, so you're doing the 99 county tour. I'm very competitive. I think you may be ahead of me in your visit.
So far.
Whoa, no.
Republican presidential candidate and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis visited the Iowa State Fair over the weekend. During his visit, the Florida Republican joined fellow Governor Iowa's Kim Reynolds on stage as part of her Fairside Chat series with the contenders. At the beginning of the event, hecklers interrupted the conversation. Reynolds fired back, scolding the crowd. Here's that moment.
Great to be in the Midwest. I tell people, normally when I want to do Midwestern nice, I just go to Fort Myers in January, and I have half the Midwest there. But we love everybody that comes down to Florida, but particularly Southwest Florida from Iowa and other parts.
Thank you. Well, listen, good friend, former colleague, governor from Florida, and so I appreciate that and appreciate the friendly competition. So Ron's out there doing the 99 county tour. I think you may be ahead of me. Hey, you know what? We're in Iowa, and in Iowa, we're Iowa nice. So let's give everybody the opportunity to hear our candidates. So we'll stop until you do, but we're all going to have an opportunity to hear from each and every candidate. That's what we've been doing.
While he was on stage, a banner appearing to read, "Be Likeable Ron 2024" was flown across the sky. The 2024 hopefuls' Fairside Chat with Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds spanned a wide range of topics, including touting his COVID policies as governor of the Sunshine State.
Look, at the end of the day, leadership means that you've got to be willing to stand for what's right, even when it's not popular, and even when you're standing virtually all alone. And in those early times of COVID, I was being attacked relentlessly by the press, by the left, by the bureaucracy, even by people in our own party. But I had to make the decision as a leader that I got elected to serve the people. I care more about protecting the people's jobs that I was elected to serve than I do about protecting my own political hide. And so we'll do what's right. We'll take the consequences and let the chips fall where they may.
The Florida Republican also revealed what issues he's finding are resonating with voters as he continues on his 99 county tour of the Hawkeye State.
Well, I think what we're hearing is people understand that our country's in decline, and we need to reverse this decline and revive what's great about America. We need an economy where middle-class families have a chance to get ahead again. We need a secure southern border. We can't let the drug cartels keep eating our lunch. We need to ensure that we rein in this out-of-control federal bureaucracy and end the weaponization of federal power. And we need to restore our military to its proper place of greatness in society.
The presidential hopeful was joined by his wife and 3 small children on Saturday at the fair. The Florida governor is coming in second, but consistently trailing former President Donald Trump in multiple national polls.
Well, look, I think it's a questions about military recruiting. It's very low right now. How do you deal with it? Well, one of the reasons I think it's low is because the military is indulged in woke activism. I had a guy who's Air Force, and he's like, I'm F-16, and I spend more time doing DE&I training than I do in the cockpit now. And so that's taking the eye off the ball. They've done social experimentation. They've done a lot of that. People don't want to be a part of a woke military. They want to be part of a military that's putting the mission first. So as day one as Commander-in-Chief, we'll be able to rip all that out. We'll stop that. We'll hold people accountable. We're going to have standards that are going to be high. They're not going to change. People are going to have to meet the standards. But I do think you're going to see a lot more people that are going to want to join because it is a noble calling. It's something that I'm proud to have served in. But I get it's a combination of politicians putting troops in situations where we haven't won victories in the last 20 years, but then also how
what about teaching kids that slavery benefited slaves, Ron?
Stop with your phony narratives. Like we know you're lying about that. That's been debunked. That has been debunked. It's not legislation. You don't even know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's hard to walk backwards in white leather boots, Ron. Yeah. Like phony narratives, you fake alternative facts.
So our policy is going to be denial of their ability to do that. I don't think they're ready to do that, and I think their calculation is going to be, is there enough American power to prevent them from doing that? And I think if we have enough American power there, I don't think that they're going to do it because I think it would be too risky for them to do it. But the goal is to avoid that conflict. Now, you don't want China to dominate the whole region, of course. And we have to be
came here to listen to him, not you.
Shut up! With China. I think if they went with Biden and we got into a conflict, I think they would probably win the conflict against us, and that's not something we want.
How involved do you guys plan on being? How involved do you plan on being with foreign policy instead of troops and feeding?
I want to drive it out. Everybody says I can't drive. So I drive around Fairmont City. I would drive around for my car. Find this guy who went to party places back out. And I took the spot and I rolled down the window and I said, thank you. You know, I should do that. You got a sticker on.
Well, if I talk to you, you would if I... No. Yeah. Well, can I have a seat?
Share. I'm open to everybody. I mean, I listened to the last debate, and I'm going to listen to we have unbiased knowledge.
I remember because
That's where it's happening. That's
We want Christian fascist bullshit anymore. They even get the fuck out of our country and get the fuck out of Iowa.
I'm going to put him down as a maybe.
We're running because we simply believe, with all humility, that I'm the most qualified, most experienced, the most tested conservative seeking the Republican nomination.
Mike Pence, are you going to tell them?
We commit our campaign to the American people, and we commit our
Mike Pence,
we commit our future
gay.
to.
We're gay. Here's the proof. Here's the proof.
Sir,
Mike Pence, I'll admit your John Deere is bigger than mine.
I apologize for that. Please go ahead.
We don't know what the future holds for our little family, but we know who holds the future. We entrust ourselves to the judgment of the people of the Granite State. We entrust ourselves to the judgment of the American people and to Almighty God, and to Him and for His glory, for the service of the people of this great nation. We put our name on the ballot in New Hampshire today, and we thank you for the warm welcome.
Well, good luck. What did you write?
What did you write?
We would like to know what the message was you wrote on the...
Oh. God bless America.
Who's with you here today?
great.
Okay, so we're going to invite the vice president in the inner office here.
Are these your
Is it a few questions?
grandkids or?
Huh? Boy, I wish. I wish we'd have gotten our granddaughters here.
Being attacked relentlessly by the press, by the left, by the bureaucracy, even by people in our own party. But I had to make a decision. As a leader that I got elected to serve the people, I care more about protecting the people's jobs that I was elected to serve than I do about protecting my own political hide. And so we'll do what's right. We'll take the consequences and let the chips fall where they may.
It's about this country, and we need to have full focus on getting America back on track.
And what we need, and I will do this as president because Kim was attacked for having kids in school. I was attacked. All those people were wrong, and yet nobody has been held accountable in the federal government. Indulging in social experimentation, woke ideology, politicization. You have talked about drag queens and pronouns and all this stuff. China is laughing at us when they see this. This is not the way you do. So we're going to get rid of all of that on day one as commander-in-chief. We're going to restore the military. Mission first. Mission first.
So you recently you announced your economic independence plan. Meanwhile, we've seen what Biden continues to do. He continues to talk about Bidenomics. So give us a glimpse of how you
we're going to reduce the number of bureaucrats in Washington by at least 50%. We're going to make sure that agencies that abuse their power, like the FBI or the DOJ, that when they do that, they get fired for abusing their power. So buckle up. We're going to do a lot, and I think the swamp is not going to like it. But you know what? I've had enough of the swamp imposing its will on us. Now it's the time we, the people, impose our will on it.
So I'm going to go back to COVID just a little bit, but you know, COVID gave parents a real opportunity to see a front row seat into what was happening in education.
Yep. Look, what a shock here for Trump. I'm going to fall over dead. Now look, every one of those boos, every one of those catcalls, every one of those yells will not keep it, yes, sure, will not solve one problem we face in this country, will not solve, and will not make this country better. Your anger against the truth is reprehensible.
Excuse me. You're talking a lot about some important issues, but how do you feel about Taylor Swift? Are you a fan of Taylor Swift?
I mean, can we get through this, and then you're welcome to ask a question after.
Can you just tell me if you're a yes or no? Are you?
I mean, nobody's gonna.
Swifty or no?
So we're gonna claw back the $500 billion of unspent COVID dollars. Instead of 87,000 IRS agents going after middle America, let's go after the hundreds of billions of dollars of COVID fraud that we know exists. 1 out of $7 was spent wrong and was fraudulent. If 8% of our budget is interest, quit borrowing. Cut out the credit cards. You have to balance a budget every day. I had to balance a...
Not even a Swiftie. Okay, Swiftie.
this while that has been a distraction. Remember how blessed we are that we have freedom of speech in this country. My husband's a combat veteran. They fought for us to have that. So whether he wants to talk about Taylor Swift or not, God bless him, he's got the right to ask. He just needs to wait for everybody else and ask the question. So look, okay. Thank you. So now we are going to open it up for questions. You know, first of all, I think we do need to give it to these fellows that happen to show up. Yes, I do like Taylor Swift. Yes, I do listen to Taylor Swift music. So there we go. Okay, who wants the first question?